Live with Mama Coco. I was just trying to signal for a little air. It's kind of sticky here right now. It's getting hot in here. Yes? And I have to keep my clothes on. This evening, this is Live with Mama Coco. My name is Cora Pantin. I'm so excited for today. I'm so blessed to have a man from Tobago, a man that I grew up with, seeing, knowing, following, being entertained by his talent, a talent that is kind of out of this world, where him and only him that I saw and grew up seeing could have done what he did. And he can still do it. I just had a little conversation with him, although I invited him to the show, promoting him on this show. I never had a talk with him. Everything that I am about to speak tonight or ask him is all what came to me because of my prior knowledge and how I believe that people should be treated and remembered in Trinidad and Tobago, and I speak specifically about Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, let me stop watching down and let me raise my head up, because this is a head-raising moment. This is a time that we all will get to know who is Michael Baker. Michael Baker. Join me tonight to welcome him to Mama Coco show Wednesday night. I wouldn't even call it Wednesday night, because this show will be going on many nights to come, because Michael Baker is our guest tonight on Mama Coco Life and Style. Welcome, Michael Baker.
Hello, 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 Mama Coco. Hello.
Mama Coco from Tobago. Give me a rhyme now. Give me a rhyme now. Give me a rhyme now.
I wonder if the audience, when they really know, Mama Coco come from eastern part of Tobago. And by now, you know, you have been the test. Tobagonians will recognize you one of the best, promoting the culture and all we are from. No matter where they think that you may come from, I want the people there now to understand that they're getting an improvisation from a Calypsonian.
Hello, yeah. Tell them, my brother, who beat you, eat you. And I tell them they have enough salt. Because without salt, they can't eat you. Because you are the salt of the earth. Hey, you got no taste?
You got no taste.
Yes, and Walcott say hello, hello. When the Aunt John saying good night, you reach.
Greetings, man. Greetings, man. Greetings. Greetings.
Greetings. And Marie Arthur saying good night, Mama Coco, Mama Coco. The hard-working team, she's saying, and all who viewing. And Marie Arthur is from Scarborough. Hail from
yes, yes, I remember Anne-Marie.
You remember Anne-Marie? Well,
yes.
This is Anne-Marie. Yeah. You ever go and buy she food?
You want me to let out my secret? Oh,
Anne-Marie is a talented chef herself, a cook, a chef, a teacher, and someone that really should be part of the Tobago advancement of people who put themselves out there and work for the benefit and for the culture of Tobago. So, Mr. Michael Baker, welcome to Live with Mama Coco.
Call me Michael, man. Show me, mister.
I will call you Michael when the time comes. I want people to know and know you. So, Michael, so Michael, welcome to Live with Mama Coco.
Tremendous pleasure to be chatting with you and to your fantastic audience who have demonstrated their appreciation for everything that you do.
Yes.
And I'm very pleased to be here. Very, very delighted.
Tell us about this.
That fella look familiar.
That fella look familiar. Tell us about this man.
Well, what they're getting a probably glimpse of my
this is your wife.
Look at them days.
Yes, man.
Singing on the beach, man. They're singing like God.
Want to believe it, well, friends, let me make you understand. Barbados and Vincent, just to name a few. When visitors pass through
Trinbago, this is what they'll tell you. They will tell you. And
discover
discover
both of
both
us,
of us,
and
and the
wine at the
wine at the
come and
come and
discover
discover
all of
all
us.
of us.
Oh
Ah,
my
God.
goodness! Oh my goodness! You know when my daughter was born, I think it's my son. One of my brother watch him and he said "Kang Kang," or watch her and say "Kang Kang." Will you see this tonight? Kang Kang. This is Tobago thing. This is Tobago thing. You're a
Definitely.
Tobago man.
Tobago.
Indigenously share your talent, your wits, and your ability and your agility. I don't know. We will talk tonight.
And
Michael, welcome.
all self-trained. Eh?
All self-trained.
Yeah, because
First question.
I always say people who go to school and universities and get their degrees, they're only mimicking somebody's work.
Yes, but when
But the real talent lies in the person who wrote the script or prepared the document or prepared the stage for you, because he has gone through hell, high waters, and all that, whereas he has omitted all the difficulties for you and you have an easy ride. It's like when your parents die and you just inherit the home, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. So, Michael Baker, tonight is going to be a very interesting night.
Splendiferous night, man.
Splendiferous night. Magnificent. Magnifico. So, tonight we are here. And I am blessed and honored to have you. Because I want you as someone, oh God, this place is hot. I want you as, no, I'm in darkness. I want you as someone, yes, I want you as someone who've been there and done that. Oliver Martin is saying he also can name more streets in Belmont than anyone else can. Is that so?
Once upon a time, I was very popular in that area when I used to go to Trinidad for the carnival competitions, yes.
Yes. So, Michael Baker, tell us about yourself. Who are you and where are you from?
Well, at this point in time, I'm alive and kicking on above ground.
You are still in the island, listen, the island, and you are still, oh yes, he is a good man. You ain't gone, well, he used to be.
No.
You ain't gone in the used to be land yet.
As a matter of fact,
And he was land.
Life has just begun.
Amen.
You know, it's unfortunate that the COVID scenario has slowed the pace down for a lot of the entire world population. But it just sends me back to the question that you just asked me a while ago. What is my lifestyle like? And it sends me back to the days in terms of growing up in the village of Mount Marie, Scarborough, Tobago, Bishop's High School, the capital, downtown Scarborough. And
yes.
Everything used to happen in Scarborough. And my father, to the best of my knowledge, and I do know, was a bus inspector. Many
Yes.
people who are old as I am and older than I am would remember Inspector Baker. No nonsense man. He didn't use to make those kind like at all. Strict to the button.
Is your 1 minute? Is your I will be raising my finger. When you say I raise it, I want to say something to you. Is
Excellent.
your father the only baker family in Scarborough? There's not much bakers around.
No, these days I have to watch my little pennies in the bank because you have many bakers. However, in those days, when my dad came from Labre in Trinidad to Tobago.
Oh, Trinidad, yes.
Yeah, the baker. My mom is from Black Rock in Tobago.
Yes.
She's a Samuel.
Yes, she looks like that.
Don't ask me how they meet up because them days they didn't have telephone and computer and things. So I don't know how they meet up, but they met up. And that
must be on the beach, boy. Say that why you like the beach?
Well, I don't, probably because all the fish brought and the nice seafood and all the things. Beach all the way. And because I remember my grandfather walking from Black Rock to Mount Mary once or twice a week with provision on his head to bring to his daughter, which is my mom.
Oh.
And my dad always just spoke about Neville Miranda from La Tropical, which is probably
yes, I know that's also
Mr. Curry, that used to have the store on Burnett Street.
That's right.
And of course, the deceased Sabga.
What's the guy name? Is Morales? Morales,
Yeah,
the guy that
yeah,
they slaughtered, they cut off
yeah,
his, yes, and
yeah,
kill, and the guy swam out into the ocean, and
yeah.
then he disappeared under the wave.
Well, he had this large abundance of lands in Scarborough, getting from Dong Mong Mariway, because I remember walking into town from time to time, and he used to have them. Them days, there wasn't the pit bull. Was a dog called the boxer, ugly, and he
And
used to have
fraughting, and used to fraud, yes.
and he used to have 2 or 3 of those dogs on top of the wall, watching his premises, but watching you as you walk along the road, all the way up to Scarborough, But as time evolved, there's selling and buying until Tobago is what it is downtown Scarborough.
Oh, wow.
So back to the days of...
That's some history there.
Yeah, back because, Scarborough had this wonderful view of just grape trees all along the beach line.
Along the street,
yes.
All
where they have that prominent sign now, where I love Tobago and all that. All that was wonderful bush.
Bush going down to Lambo.
Yes, just bush and beach. When a man want to go and make a little fun, he go in the bush. Along the coastline. And that was right up to Scarborough, where we used to have the Rex Cinema, as it were.
Yes, yes.
And there was a bridge there.
Yes.
Was a wooden bridge.
A wooden bridge to take care of the Crooks
traffic.
River.
Yeah, and the traffic.
Yes.
And there wasn't much traffic because I don't know how many people would recall. I would probably touch things that people have forgotten totally. There was a boat coming from Trinidad and Tobago before the boat called Trinidad and Tobago, and before the Scarlet Ibis and those.
Yes.
And there's tremendously talented waterman on the port by the name of Selassie. And these boats used to come in and couldn't berth. So they used to right now where the whole garden is, behind KFC and all that kind of thing, was Texaco.
Texaco gas station, yes.
The depot where they're storing everything.
Oh, the depot, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, and the ice factory and all of that was right.
I know the ice factory. Down. Yes,
and
yes.
Then, you have Matilda Scobie with the little parlor right there by the cinema. Yeah, and in the days of bedbug.
Tell them about bedbug.
Yeah. When bedbug is about a quarter the size of a cockroach, or much smaller. But I mean, there was no peace when they tried to sit down. Bedbug was everywhere. Bedbug was everywhere. And the cinema was one of the places for sure to get in bedbug biting. Because they
once you go to the cinema.
Yeah, because they need to clean the seats too properly, And bedbug, they're like blood.
They like blood, yes.
Yeah, they like blood,
Stink like that.
Right, and then those are the days of a single movie. They would show one serial with a lot of the boosters like Pink Panther and the Speedy little cartoons to boost them up. I remember $10 to go to the movie, 10 cents to go to the movie rather. And I remember going to see the picture Dr. Satan, a serial, 2 hours, 3 hours long. When it's done, and the picture done. And people climbing over people's head to go and put in the cinema Rex. You see? But there is so much that we can chat about. And Scarborough continues. So I grew up there, went to school at the Scarborough Boys Anglican School, right where the Anglican graveyard is.
Graveyard is right now.
And right where the Roman Catholic school is right now. Just obliquely opposite there is where the building still stands, and the opposite to our school, which is the girls' school, was by where Radio Tambourine is on that side over there now. So the boys and the girls never used to mix.
Oh, they didn't have that school?
No.
They had a separate school for girls?
Yeah, separate school. So no nonsense, we were experiencing social distancing long time.
So no girls, you didn't go to school with girls down there?
No.
At that age?
No, we only used to meet on ceremonious days. Like there's a time there was Mason Hall Community Center where the school children used to go. The bus will come. big old brown bus, like an old Ford bus, you know. And
Yes.
you load up the bus and you're going up to Mason Hall. And the bus will take you up there and you'll go and do agriculture for the boys and carpentry for the boys, and the girls will do dressing and those cooking and those relating things.
Yes, sewing, yes. Mm-hmm.
But no matter how you try, the dress code and the contact was strict, because those days you don't make scala. When you go to school on morning on those days, you have to line up, and they had what they call a prefect to monitor you and keep track of beside the teacher and the headmaster. And you used to get your excuse the expression, but you used to get your ass cut. And
oh my goodness.
That is what kept the people who are now in position and running the countries and in good position. That is what made them what they are, because there was discipline. When you hear the bell ring or the whistle blow for the calling of a school, a class, you had to be ready, and you line up, uniform.
What about your fingernails? Your fingernails.
Well, that's what we're getting to now. Your shirt in your trousers, belt properly, loops in your pants, your foot shiny if you don't have no shoes like me sometimes. Gym boots was the thing, nothing called jockey shorts, you know. Blue shirt, khaki pants in my case, and they will take a comb and run it through your hair. And it should not stop. If it stops, it means you didn't comb your hair.
Wow.
That is not a joke. And then you say your morning prayer. Midday you say your grace before meals, and evening you say your prayers again before you go home. And these were instilled in you in terms of biblical beliefs and religious beliefs. And further to that, you had Sunday school you must go to. Not Sunday school in Buku, but Sunday school church. You must attend Sunday school. So those elderly people, as we are, cannot say that they don't know anything about Bible. You know, no. Can't say anything about Bible. Out of the question. Eat and spit Bible. There was no cursing. When you see an adult had the highest respect, because they will cut your tail. When you go home and you complain, you'll cut your tail again. And if they go home and complain to your parents, it's more cut tail.
Wow.
So you have to be straight like a whip, you know. We are not castigating any present rulings, but that is how it works, you know. And you had to grow up learning and doing things physically. That's why all the people were so muscular. Nowadays, when you buy clothes, the clothes is 25, 25, 25. It can't fit you because you are 38, 22, 47. You know, that's how Tobagonians are built, you know what I mean? And when you do something, they used to ring a bell in my school.
Yeah, I grew up with bell too.
When they put you behind a curtain, they drop your pants, the whole school is listening, and you get a good licking. And between me and you ain't going to do that again.
No, once and you're done.
Yes.
But that's what you know then. Do you think that should continue now? Because I don't think so. I don't think there should be flogging, corporal punishment and stuff in school anymore.
Well, I agree with what you may think, but we'll be talking about what is applicable and what works. Because I'm saying I had bad intentions many times to run away to go and see this carnival Monday morning. I want to go and see Juve, and I had work to do. Me, I want to do that. But because of the fact that I'm afraid curtail, I am not going. You see, and it is a margin. My dad always used to say, "Don't bust the eye, don't break the bone, but cut the tail." So that means that you shouldn't be abusive of the disciplining measure. They used to use a cane or a leather belt or a tambourine whip, and you know, they hold it by the backside, pull the pants tight, and they give you some good whooping. Sometimes you can't sit on the bumps because it's like a whoopee, but you learn, you know.
Somebody asking you a question there.
What did they say?
So if it had all that, how Rowley getting on notice though?
Time changes and so do men. That is all I'm going to say. I'm not getting involved in them things at all. Right?
Time changes.
And so do men.
And so do men.
Yeah,
that is very good. That's because a good answer.
As we go older, we remember that in our days there were a lot of what we call proverbs.
Yes.
Never hang your hat where your hand can't reach.
Yes.
Every day.
And what good for Peter, good for Paul.
Right, pot telling bottom, telling kettle bottom black.
Yes.
You know, and all these things are what you had in our head. That when you remember them, you know that you're not on the right path. You understand what I mean?
Yes.
You see, where I'm not saying that they weren't evil. As a matter of fact, they're probably more evil than we have now in terms of Obia. But that's another
Yes.
story for another topic.
That's another story for another show.
Yeah, because the noise and the technology and everything have driven away even the animals, you know, and the forestry have been cut down.
Yes.
So all these, my Bra and Nancy and Bratukuma and all
Yes.
that things like that gone. But the West Indian reader and the first aid English manual and all these things used to keep you up to date with all these wonderful stories. You used to heckle somebody. And the methodology of heckling somebody was not that of
you want a
calling
song? As you say, heckle, you want a song? Every time I pass, you heckle me. Every time I pass, you heckle me. I go tell me, mommy, not send me down there. You remember that song?
Of course. Yes, singing along with you.
Yes, every time you pass, you heckle me. Every time I pass, you heckle me. So I go tell me, mommy, not send me down there again.
Of course. And you see, those books had you so, there's a thing called mental.
Yes.
That's how we use phone. Our brain used to be mental. You used to have to remember everything.
Yes.
And I remember getting licks in school for not knowing a village close to me where I live now in Carnbee, Orkenskio.
Orkenskio, and how to spell it.
Yes, and I never forget it since I get licking. Even for the licking, I would have known it, I would not spell it. So when they call me up, teacher Miller come here, Baker, yes, teach. Starting to pee my pants because I know licks coming because me don't know mental, me spell Orkenskio. And I would never forget it. AUCATNSKEOCH. Never forget that.
Never forget that because of the licks.
it is implanted with licks. Yes. Can't forget that. And many people would have had many stories like that to tell you that because of a good cocktail, they have had to change their ways.
For me, it was quiet and quiet. I get licks almost a whole night. It's my mother had to pull me away from my sister and say, let she go and sleep. When she wake up in the morning, she gonna know. And as I open, I QUIET, 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 and I said, all right, good, you get it now. She beat me so much that up to this day, I could spell quiet and quite very easily because of that licks. So, Mr. Baker, Michael.
You get them to you get them to Yes. When?
I think she froze, Mr.
Yeah. I catch you. I catch her. She got caught surprisingly.
So tell us about your school and when did you first realize that you had a knack for entertaining?
Well, Mom, in those days was latrine and shower outside on a little galvanized little room and puberty, we didn't care about that. We used to be almost naked to 13, 14 years. We did not know damn foolishness about it. Children now 3 years hiding, you know what they're hiding. However, time changes. And
time changes and so do men.
Right. There were no hot and cold water. So when you go in the barrel, you used to have water in the barrel that you brought from where in the village.
And the barrel have tie in it or cement, so it's real cold.
Cement. In that case, it was cement.
Yeah.
But clean water. You use your calabash. You collect your water and things. And partners, early in the morning to get up to feed. I used to have to feed 8, 10, 12 animals in terms of pig. My specialty was pig, and Dad used to have we plant potato and corn and peas every year. That was my specialty, And so when you throw that water in the skin, it's cold. There was no warm water. So you used to sing out in notes that you don't believe. Exactly. And so the boys get tuned up, you know what I mean? The boys get tuned up over years with that. And even sometimes when I drive around my car now, making the little broadcast that I do, which you're probably familiar with.
Yes, sir.
Becca, why you make so much noise? Well, first of all, I tell them it's not noise, right? It's education.
Yes,
it's not noise. It's just loud. And if it's not loud, you wouldn't listen. Because It has to be at a certain level of tonic to break through your hearing. You see?
But
You turn off radio and
but you're using a loudspeaker, aren't you?
that's what the permit says, you see. And if you don't, people go, you lose your walk, you won't buy nobody because they hear what you're saying. They have no time with you.
Yes.
And so they ask me, why do you make so much noise? I tell them, when I was born, they thought I was dead.
So
Yes,
they beat
they thought I
you?
was dead.
Really?
No, when I came out from that wonderful place, in birth, they thought I was dead because no song. So the doctor and them hold me with the 2 fingers, 1 foot in here, 1 foot in there, hold me up and hit me 1 slap, bow, and I ball out. And from that day, I ball until now.
That's a slap of life.
I make it nice from that till now. Oh gosh. So in terms of the school, I went to Scarborough Boys EC School, finished up there. Then I went to, in those days, they didn't have.
Somebody saying that you're not only singing when the water hit your body. You have a dance you used to put on. Everybody used to put on a dance. The dance is to heat up your body.
Stimulate your system.
Stimulate your system for the water.
Yeah. So I went, didn't make it to high school as it were. So I went to what they call school leaving. I did school leaving. God knows all these things I've gone away now. I had 105 words a minute in shorthand, you know.
You
could talk, yes, and typing. I've been on computers from way back when because it was the Olivetti typewriter then. And I was getting ready to go and work in the courthouse.
Courthouse as a stenographer.
Yes, because I went to George Leacock Mother School, right? Scarborough Polytechnic Institute, right at the bottom of Burnett Street there.
Speak of that school because then some people don't remember that school.
No, it wasn't much. No, you know what's unique about that place? I was the only boy in the school. So they used to give me all the hard work to do. They used to give me, I had to lift the desk, I had to do everything because all the others were ladies, you know. So I had to do all the hard work. But they used to nurture and cherish me because I was the only boy. And
the only boy.
And I was spanking, looking good, you know,
yes.
And always charismatic, making fun with everybody, you know what I mean? Teacher Leacock didn't used to mix kind of. He was very stern, prompt, precise, and on the ball.
So Michael, how you felt knowing that you chose to go to a school with only girls? You wasn't feeling like if...
Not by choice. In them days when the parents say go there, you go there.
Oh boy.
having not finished school, I went to university later on in life, college rather. A lot of people don't know that, but that's another story. Having not finished school and stuff like that, I'm self-taught in almost everything. You know, I have come up to the ranks where in every area I'm a gem because it's areas that I've created. First lifeguard, first person to run Tobago Scouting for 23 years. Many times Calypso champion in Tobago. Won the road march and Calypso championship in Tobago.
We're gonna get to there.
The list continues.
Yes, we're gonna get to there.
So,
you know, we want to know what inspired you. Your mother used to sing in a choir. Your father, he had a big voice, a strong voice. I remember your dad. Yes, thick and a dark man.
The voice naturally came from mom.
Or from your mom?
Yeah. Mom was quite a harmonic singer, angel voice. Until she used to sing so much because she had 10 children, 12 of us, but she has born 10. 5 boys, 5 girls. 5 died and 5 remained. And I hope they're looking at me because me going nowhere right now at all. However, so mom used to sing us lullaby. Rock-a-bye, baby, on a treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. You know, and all them things to sing it to bed. Because them days mattress was fiber. Corn stalk, and things like that. Right. And the fiber used to have these little edges that used to prick you. You never sleep good. Yes, complete mattress. And every year you had to call it a beaten mattress so that they could put these little, it looked like decorations, put these little pins in them, little buttons
pins,
in
yes,
them.
Little buttons. So they used to sew it and catch and you would pull it pull the thread so
Right.
you have a
Hell
indentation
of a
all
big
through the
needle.
mattress.
Either took it a needle nowadays for vaccine or death.
Bag needle. Those were bag needles,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. And that's how people used to live. And one of the reasons they used to beat the mattress for sure was to get rid of the same bed bug.
Same bed bug.
They used to hide inside of the bed bug, yeah.
Yes.
You know?
And your couch, your cushion and your chair was the same fiber.
Yes. Anything that exists in that realm, you know. And those days were so great days that whenever night come and things like that, you had no choice but to go to your bed.
Yes, you have to sleep.
No cinema as much, no television as
No
much.
television.
Right. So you will eat your roast corn with your roast bake, with the pots outside, ironing and everything was outside, you iron everything, and you have to wipe it to make sure you haven't burn your clothes. Cassava starch. Cassava is a wonderful food.
Cassava is a wonderful food.
It is professed. I don't know if it's true that cassava has a special B17 or something like that. It's good for cancer. I stand corrected. But
You stand to be corrected, but you wouldn't doubt it.
Me ain't doubting that I eat cassava like mad. Me ain't doubting that 71 and going. Yes, I ain't doubting that. And
some people claiming that they had grass mattress. Some had buffalo. And you know buffalo? The plant from this tree that they used to get this thing from to make your pillows and make your, buffalo pillow. People writing stuff. So people supporting what you are saying, but they're giving you some more things that we use. Yes.
Well, I mean, I can't tell all. Because I tell all, they wouldn't have nothing to talk about.
They wouldn't have nothing to talk about, plus the show wouldn't end. The show wouldn't end, yes.
Because as you were talking about bad buffalo there, you threw me back a little bit when we were talking about the younger days. In the Texaco oil field station there. When I was telling you about Selassie, the boats used to come in, and they used to come in with these, what we call Zedu bull. It's a special kind of cow with a hump on the back. And they used to use them to dig ground now. You know,
buffalo plow.
Buffalo, exactly. So many times when they come in ashore, they used to take them off the boat, put them in these little rowboats and bring them to shore because the boats couldn't come in. And when they hit land, sometimes the cows and them jump out of the boat and come to shore. Scarborough empty.
People gone.
People, I mean, when buffalo bulls take over town, Scarborough empty.
My God.
Scarborough empty.
So you have all this memory that I didn't know we were getting into.
Yeah, because I look at the time, I look at the time, you have enough time to talk to me tonight.
Now we have time. We have time. Trust me. I just give you that time because I know, well, it's you alone, so we got cover time. But then
let me expatiate, man.
Let me expatiate. So, oh my God. Joan Pierre Phillips is saying that she still has her coal pot irons and coal pot. You have any coal pot right now or coal pot iron?
No, but up at the Fort George, where the art center, I don't know if it's still there, but it used to be there. They had all these things as sort of mementos, you know?
Yes.
You had the pots, the pans, the irons, the tin pans where you used to drink your chocolate tea, you know, the metal tin.
Yes.
You have a cup out of that. Besides the calabashes and things like that, you have your wooden spoon, and of course you have your wood swizzler. You go down the back and you get
Manjack bush.
Yes. Manjack and the swizzle thing.
Manjack is the same thing as clean teeth.
Yes. No. Clean teeth is a stronger fibrous kind
that
of
they
tree
used to come and brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth. But the manjack used to break easy. And it always used to, many times it go in a tree prong. So the tree prong is what used to activate and look like a swizzle stick.
A fork, yes.
Yeah, right now they have these wire things, you know, but that way you use. And don't forget, you know, Palos, the greatest of all was the dough oven, the baking of the cake, the making of the ice cream, the beating of the egg was the one I was vexed for because it mixed again.
God. And
2-3 dozen eggs, and you have to beat it in that silver pan,
until you get frothy. My goodness.
You beat it till it come up to the top. I don't like dropping them. If you like dropping, no.
Can't like drop.
That and winding ice cream into bay Oh God, you're winding the ice cream in the little churner there.
So, Brother Michael,
Yeah,
we are going to move up the stream now.
good.
And we are going to get to know. You have the honor of being Tobago first lifeguard. How did you get started in that profession?
That is 40 years of story that we have to compress into about 15 minutes.
Not
I
so
was getting
much.
ready to go to the same school that we were.
Let me do 8 minutes. Let me do 8 minutes.
We were getting ready to go to the same school that we were talking about, the Eastern Time School, one morning when the in those days were premier in terms of the head of the country and all this kind of thing, you know.
Yeah.
And there used to be a black car with a crown.
Yes.
And the well-known Granville, as it were in those days, used to be driving.
Mr. Granville was a policeman, and then he started driving.
Yeah. As
the,
a matter of fact,
the same Granville that was living up on the Jenningham street there with his children, I remember.
Yeah. Or Alan Granville and all them Granville, same Granville. And he came one day, getting ready to go to the same class in my final years and things like that. And about 2 or 3 more years to go to complete. He says, "You Michael Baker?" I says, "Yes." I start to tremble because this man in his official outfit, black car with a crown on it, no number, that's a crown. They want you up in the ministry, as they call it, as it were. That is the legislator now. What it is
right up there, right up on that same hill. Yes.
That same building up there. Me, well, I can't ask what for. Me, I afraid policeman, teacher, principal, and you know, respected people, you don't play the fool. You don't ask questions, you follow instruction.
Yes.
They have to dump you. You just tell them how high. Right?
Amen. And, that's true.
So he carried me up there. When I got up there, it was about the 6th or the 7th of November, 1969. And in there were the tourism people, Mr. Hackshaw and a few others, I can't remember all of them. Don Bain, those people were running the tourism, the tourist board, as it were, in those days. And they were all there. And they saw me coming and they smiled. They like how I looked, man. Because I was about 19, 20, just past my water safety tests, water merit and bronze medallion. So there were 3 of us. Civil Collier, another chap, and I. And Civil Collier badge was too old. The other guy, he had nothing to show. But I was just prime because a Canadian guy who was here on exchange to Trinidad and Tobago, especially Tobago at Works Department to do engineering, used to haul me and the Charles brothers and things like that from down by Francis. Let me say by Shaw Park then. Let me make it more clear. Coast Guard. And on Sunday we used to go in the water from there and swim right up to Scarborough where the boat is.
Oh wow.
In those days there was no boating at boat. There used to be 3 big tanks out in the sea where
the water wasn't that choppy.
No, the sea was always from time to time misbehaving. If you get it calm, you get it calm. If it's stinging, but that you're training to be a lifeguard, you can't fear sea.
Jesus.
You can't have no fear for water. You have to be a daredevil. And we used to swim from there up to that place there and back down, doing towings and swimming and things in order to qualify. And that good Canadian gentleman vigorously run us through until we got the badge. And that's how I got my badge. I passed the test with the Royal Life Saving Society. In England, they did the test and the paper, the examiners, this guy was qualified, so he examined us one time and all this kind of thing. And that's how I got the badge. So they asked me, "Mr. Baker," well, Michael, I wasn't that big yet. They're opening the first beach in Tobago. This is a novel.
This is what I want the people to know.
The first beach facility in Tobago is the Mount Irvine Beach.
Mount Irvine Beach, yes.
I was open on the 8th or the 9th of November, 1969. That's when I started to work. And so because they had managers and cleaners and bar people and groundmen and all kind of things, and the place was so lovely prepared, they thought it was onus on them to have a lifeguard. That's why I came. So they wanted a lifeguard out of the 3 people that were there, and I fitted the bill. And $397, I can't remember if it's an hour or a day, but I know $397 what I was getting. And
$397.
No, $3.97.
What?
$3.97. I can't remember if it's an hour a day. But I know that didn't my head stick up. Can't remember if it's an hour a day, but $3.97. And
Wow.
that is what my pay was. Was the only person, only lifeguard had to make me own uniform and all that kind of thing. But just before that, I went home. They tell me, look, if you want it, you have to start on the 9th of November. And that, incidentally, is my birthday. I have to start on it.
Oh,
So I went
really?
home and I explained to Mom. I said, Mom, they called me up to the ministry and asked me if I'm interested in being a lifeguard because they opened up Mount Irving. I don't have it in my head already. I'm young and I'm strong, put on swimsuit whole day on the beach, girls and all kind of things, and you're walking up and down.
As you said, girls, real girls, real girls.
Oh, yeah, nice people, man, nice people. Nice people. I mean, times have changed, but nice people. And there was a lot of respect. I mean, couldn't play food. So I went and I told.
Because now I seen these young boys on the beach bums. They're very disrespectful to women and tourists and doing something.
No, those things couldn't have been because, like I tell you, you have to respect teachers, pastors, principals, judges, and all. You get tail cut. I'm going to go and get more licks again if they complain. And they could beat your tail and you go home and you can't complain. And you go home with more licks. So, there's a lot of discipline. There was something to have a fear in you to let you know that if you touch fire, you're going to get burned. Very simple.
So, Mr. Michael Baker, this is a serious point of this part of our conversation. You are our first ever lifeguard. Do you think that by now we should have had an academy, a lifeguard academy in Tobago? Should we? And should the people of Tobago, should the tourist board, and all those that manage in that capacity recognize you some more and have you speaking to them and demanding certain things to be done in Tobago when it comes to tourism, lifeguard, the daily behavior, the daily treatment, and there should have been a school where Michael Baker should have been the principal or the professor of. I'm serious.
Coco Mama, you are in it, you feel it, you wear it, you do it every day. There's a thing called hidden agenda in terms of jealousy.
Oh, Jesus.
It is one of our greatest downfall as
a people.
As Caribbean peoples. We have this crab in a bucket syndrome. If you try to climb out, there's a crab come up in the back and all of you fall down back again.
Everybody falling back down.
Instead of helping you. And I get emotional.
Speak your conscience. Speak it.
I get emotional when I get into these areas of specificities, because I was the only lifeguard for 3 years, 4 years. Then they sent up examiner from Trinidad, and he joined with me, and we trained 7 lifeguards. And from then on, I was handling the mantle. I was training lifeguards till I retired from just being the only lifeguard. I retired as the highest level, which is supervisor 2, in 2009. After 40 years, I'm meeting 60 now. I have to go home. Me looking nothing like 60, but you have to go home. But that is the way it goes, you know what I mean? And the older lifeguards would tell you that in my tenure, I was striving for technology, increased ability. This is where I went to college. I went to Wales, World College of the Atlantic, to do specific training in life saving. It was a scholarship that, when I came back, they stopped me from going to Carnival because they say I had to pay back the money, so I had to work. So I couldn't go to do my little Carnival thing from then on. But
so who sent you away? Who sent you away?
Well, the lifeguards in Trinidad were making complaints that they have enough equipment and blah, blah, blah. So Parliament decided to send people away to train these guys, so we will have our own quadri. The same thing you're talking about is what they envisioned at that time, that there will be units, there will be equipment, just like let me make it short, like Coast Guard and like Fire Brigade. You will have people to be housed, moved out in the day, come back in the night, set up the beaches, all kind of equipment, the paramedics, and all these wonderful things that associate itself with saving lives, And like most things in Trinidad and Tobago, it goes for a week, and after a week, it drops dead.
Why?
Somebody die now, they make noise, everything around for about a week, 7 days, and then it dies away. That is what I've seen through the years. 7 days, even if you die now, everybody make noise and talk about 7 days.
Dr. Duke wants to come in on the
Well, I'm going to ask a question because Coco, you're not checking your phone. But I wanted to know whose government was it? Who was in power, that administration that sent you guys away to train?
Well, you hit a sour pot there, because I can't help you. At age 19, them time, so if you had asked me before, I could have researched and tell you who was the government in power, but I can't remember right now. Probably was PNM. Probably was PNM. I can't. But like I said, those times were very different to now. Those times were different to now. The tourist board was in charge of all the tourism sector in Trinidad and Tobago, period. They just had a branch in Tobago, So
who is in charge now? The assembly is in charge now?
Right.
And the assembly not remembering Michael Baker and your contributions and what we are lacking of?
No, look for that thing here, man. Me get plenty. Wait. They get plenty more things to show where I get all kind of awards, Awards. I wish I could have carried them to the bank and I'd be rich.
Well, I want to talk to you about the awards. You don't need awards now. You need a legacy. You need that if you have sons, they can remember who their father used to be and why they should continue this trend and to do good. Our lifeguards are in Tobago right now. You tell me, do you like where we are?
Of course not. Of course not. Like I said, we should have been like Coast Guard and Fire Brigade with our own specific unit and housing, equipment, boats. I went as far as I
Listen, when I received the signal within me spiritually to interview you, is my memory of the show that they used to have on television.
What, Scouting?
Baywatch.
Oh, right. Okay.
And every time I remember Baywatch, I remember you and your legs. I remember how you used to be running on the beach with your buoy in your hand and sometimes with your guitar.
Yeah, because
I'm speaking about original.
Yeah.
That's why. And do you think, as a matter of fact, that more beaches in Tobago need lifeguard? And especially the waterfall in Argyle.
I'm sorry I didn't send you the clip. I have made the wonderful Calypso before I departed from lifeguard service, that is. And it's on YouTube and stuff called Water Safety. And in there is all the rules and regulation that governs the aspect of being safe in, on, and around water. And being an island, I felt very sad many times when I'm on the job working and training and I see a visitor come down, because it seems like most visitors were schooled in swimming before they get to Trinidad and Tobago. And they will go out and enjoy the wonderful ocean. And we will be calabash bathing on the beach with sand all over his skin. And you're like, why not go there? You go drunk, come back here. You go too far. Come back now. Away I go. Come back now, boy. Stay here. Tap here. And that is how we think, because there were no facilities. We now have the YMCA pool and things like that, which of course closed up because of COVID. But we had that as an initiative to teach school children, which are doing very, very well indeed, the art of swimming. Because given me, with the want of God, I can understand. You live in an area where there's water all around us and you can't swim. You can't swim. No. Unheard of. All of Tobago's water, you're hearing men washing off the rocks, you're hearing young people drowning, you're hearing people getting washed away. You can't swim. It must be on the curriculum in school. It must be compulsory. In the foreign country, you can't go to school and come out without learning to swim. Can't come out and learn to swim.
And it's a part of therapy also.
But it's the best. It's the best.
It's the
They tell
best
you
therapy.
running and cycling and football, all this thing damages your joint at a certain time. And they say walking and swimming are the last two to damage you up. The last two.
So do you think that we should have a Dwight York Stadium, a this year stadium, and we don't have a facility that named Michael Baker Stadium or Michael Baker School of Lifeguard Training or Swimming? Your name should be in Tobago. I don't care who listen to me tonight. I don't want them to understand that I am looking for friends. Mr. Baker, you have nothing to give me, but I have enough to give to you, which is the love I have for you and appreciation all my life. And God knows my heart. But I believe that there should be a Michael Baker something, whether it's a stadium, a cultural complex, or something by the name of Michael Baker. Some beach by the name of Michael Baker.
But you know how it goes. They wait till they're dead. Coco. You know they wait till they're dead before they name something after you. They have done a few recently there where people were alive to see it. God bless those people recently. But they wait till they're dead before they name things after you. But I have a tremendous amount of certificates and awards from all kinds of people. Even I remember President Ellis Clark gave me an award one time for the contribution I was making to culture in terms of the he was a member of the club. He was a master in the club. Anyways, so he gave me an award then. I met with all kinds of people. And the thing is,
someone is saying theater for arts. That's what I was about to say too. Because Mr. Baker, we're gonna stop right there. Because we have another part of your life we have to touch. And that is the entertainment part. Let me get the question. Michael Baker, you have the honor of being Tobago's, no, not that question. We had that one before.